Hello, thank you so much for tuning in to Leader Tips by E. I appreciate you joining. This episode is actually a two-part series, and so today we will focus on part one, which is building your personal brand. I've had to do this personally, and so I wanted to share this with you. I was thinking about what topic can I really focus on this week, and so you're going to get one piece today, and then the next piece, which is part two, you'll get later on this week. I often think about confidence and how confidence really sets in for us as ladies, particularly also for men and as ladies. And a lot of it has to do with us being able to build our personal brand. Most of us have our branding on social media. People know what we like, they know what we dislike, they know what we stand for. And we have to take that same excitement, that same fervor that we have to help people to understand who we are and what we stand for on social media. We have to make sure that that becomes manifested at work as well. Companies today do an awesome job of helping us to buy into the company culture. We drink the Kool-Aid, we wear the gear, the hats, and all of that. Yet we walk away and we just walk away with nothing really to add. The purpose of this video is for us to talk about how do I walk away and still have my own personal brand. Us having a personal brand is what adds a level of confidence to everything that we do, no matter where we are, no matter how we show up. By us taking pride in our personal brand and other people seeing it, it is a wonderful and contagious place to be in. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you, as women, particularly women of color, we experience a lot of microaggressions, a lot of discrimination, a lot of biases and stereotypes in the workplace. And I'll tell you one thing people cannot deny. They cannot deny your skill set. They cannot deny your personal brand when you have one. And so that's why we're going to talk about it today. During this episode, you're going to get 1 through 5. And then the next episode, you'll get the last 5. I have done all of these and it's helped me to be successful. And so I want to share these tips with you. The first thing I want you to do is to consider what you do well. So number 1, consider what you do well. I want you to think about, what do people always compliment you on? What do they always tell you you do very well? Go back as far as you can remember. Don't let anything go unnoticed. I want you to also think about, why do people typically come to you? And because we're talking about building your personal brand, starting with the workplace, let's just go ahead and focus it there. I highly encourage you, if you don't have it handy, to maybe grab a notebook, because I believe you'll be able to take away some great tips and it'll help you to be able to establish your brand. But the first thing, number 1, is, what do you do very well? This is things you've heard along the years. Go back as far as you can remember. What do people tell you you do very well? Why do people come to you at work? I hope it's not just for gossip. I hope they come to you because maybe you're strategic, you have great critical thinking skills. Maybe you do a great job of building relationships around the organization. Maybe people come to you because you come across as very approachable and welcoming. I want you to consider those things. Number 2, how are you unique from others? And unique is truly that unique. And so I want nothing to go unnoticed. I want you to think about your experiences, your personal experiences. I want you to think about your race, your gender, your culture, your background, your socioeconomic status, your sexual orientation. I want you to think about what you're passionate about. And how does that make you stand out as unique, different from everyone else? I want to share with you, I had one young lady, I was speaking with her and I was coaching her in this space of building your brand. And she was new to the marketing team. And so she was, fresh. This was like her first career job. And she said, Ebony, I just don't know. I don't feel confident in meetings. because I'm new at this. And that's the very reason you should be confident. That's the very reason you're unique. You're unique because you're new at something. That means that the perspective you give is always going to be one that's going to challenge the status quo. It's going to challenge the way that everyone else that's been in a role 5+ years think about something. When we think about bringing innovative ideas to the workforce, it is awesome when we have people who are new to the workforce. It is awesome when we get new people into roles because they can look at our processes and procedures from a different lens than the way we that have been in roles for 10+ years. And so when I say I want you to really think about how you are unique for that team that you're in, I want you to really think about that. For instance, one thing I will say for me specifically, because I am in the diversity, equity, and inclusion space, one thing about me that is unique is I have a learning and development background. That is somewhat unique to people in a diversity, equity, and inclusion space. It's not always the same skill set. Also, I have experiences. I was a young mom. I'm an African-American woman. And so I want you to really think about your uniqueness because it really will help you to start to walk and really demonstrate your brand. Consider what you believe in. That's 3. Look, I did this. 3. What do you believe in? And this could be like your value system. All of that is going to help to develop your brand as well. And so I think for me, my value system is around inclusivity for all. It's around women. I saw a strong woman, and it's around teaching. I knew at the age of 5, I would speak and teach. I remember sitting on the stairs in our apartments growing up, and all I wanted to do was be the teacher to my cousins. And so teaching women, because I saw a strong woman raise me, all of that, those are values. That's your value system. Diversity, making sure that everyone is involved and we have an inclusive culture. I want you to think about your own values away from work, what's important to you. That'll also play into your personal brand. 4, what business experience do you have that sets you apart in that industry? I just said this, and for me, it's being in the diversity, equity, and inclusion space and also have a learning and development background. How that's unique is that not only do I know about diversity, equity, and inclusion concepts, I'm also able to effectively transfer knowledge for that. How is that a value add, and why does that add value to my brand? Because I don't have to get in front of the C-suite and shove things down their throat. You should do this, you should do that. That's not how I play. I actually do things in a way that provokes thoughts, which will then shift their mindsets. So my ability to understand how knowledge transfers effectively, that is one thing that has made me a force to be reckoned with as it relates to my brand in the DEI and public speaking space. So I want you to think about your experiences, your work experiences that you've had probably somewhere else, that you bring into this role that adds additional value to what you're doing. That also helps you to cement your brand. And the last one for this episode, provide perspectives based on your brand. If I'm in a meeting, people know that when we're talking about something, Ebony's going to want to know about inclusivity. How are we inviting all? And when I say all, I'm even talking about white men, because I believe in inclusion. I believe in the underrepresented voice. And there are times where a white man might be the underrepresented voice. People know that I'm going to always be focused on knowledge transfer and how knowledge transfers and how it permeates outside of the workplace so we can truly change behaviors. And they also know that I am going to be one that I'm really strong on relationships. So I want you to think about those things. So again, today we've talked about 5 tips for establishing your brand. And some of them are things to just consider. 1, consider what you're really good at. 2, how are you unique from others? 3, what do you believe in? Think about your value system. 4, what business experience do you have that will add additional value to what you're doing now? 5, always speak up and provide your feedback and your perspective based on your brand. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, I highly encourage you to tune in for the next one that'll come in a few more days, where I will give you the 5 additional and last tips for building your brand. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, like and share. And if there's something that really resonated with you, I would love for you to leave a comment. Thank you and have a great week.